Okay, so yeah, Thursday. I basically had to wait till at least 2 o'clock to go get my last 2 checks. So I didn't do much this morning. Now that I got my checks and everything, I can do whatever I want. I'm free, right? So first thing I got to do in this Bronco is get some good connections to the battery. If you didn't know, I put these on because I cut the factory cables, the ends off, you know, because they were stripped out and all that kind of stuff. So I just cut the wires and put these on. These are no good. These are junk. The wires came loose on me once. I think it was last year while I was out in the desert somewhere. I stopped to air up the tires and I noticed the wire had popped out of here. It wouldn't have started. So I got these fancy ones here. We'll see how good these things are. Got them online, Amazon. It's got connections for 4 points there, different sizes. The issue I'm having right now is one wire. There's 2 positives on this battery from the factory, from Ford. One's a fat one, goes to the starter, and one's a little smaller one. So the big one, of course, goes in the big hole. The smaller one should go in one of these, but it don't fit. The hole's too small. So I just drilled it out bigger, right? Okay. So that leaves me 2 extra holes. One's going to be for my power for my amps and my lights. But for the factory wiring, that's what I'm going to go for. And then the winch will bolt up to the nut like I had the old one, right? What I did just for corrosion resistance, I put some silicone grease in there. And on the threads of the screws there. Hopefully that works. We'll see. That's what I'm doing right now. Another thing I got to figure out is how to put these stupid springs back on so I don't have to put that stick there to hold the hood open. Okay, so this is what I got at Amazon. Impulse BT1088 Professional Accessories. That's all it says. BT1088, yeah. Ooh, gold, fancy, huh? Yeah. Pretty nice. We'll see how good they are though in a year or two. I also got these connectors here. I forgot what I'm going to use these for, but they are nice and heavy, solid. Gotta remember I bought this stuff maybe like a year ago. So, see my wires, how nice they go in there. Got a little grease to seal out any moisture or whatever goes in there. Yeah, make sure you strip the wires back far enough. You want the bare wire inside and you want the rubber on the outside. So on the smaller one you have to strip more because it goes in further, because it goes to the second screw. The first screw is for the top hole. Funny thing about wires, the apprentice out there, we had them putting tracer wire in because we're putting in plastic piping. So you basically you run a copper wire from one end of the pipe all the way down, all along the run, and branches and all that stuff. But it's got to be a complete circuit, if you know what I mean. You cannot cut the wire. You can, but when you put it back together, you have to clean. You got to strip the rubber so the copper makes contact, right? It's continuity. But nobody told him that. They gave him these special connectors with silicone in there and everything, and he used those, but he didn't strip the wire. So there's no continuity in the tracer wire now. In other words, it's got breaks because it's not making proper connections. Because he didn't strip the wire ends before he used the connectors. That's kind of the journeyman's fault, because the journeyman didn't tell him that. He just gave him the wire, told him run the wire, so he ran the wire. Yeah, so anyway, stuff like that happens. There's a little bit about, there's stuff you gotta know, you know. It's not high-tech electronics, it's just basic electricity. You gotta know basic electricity. You need good contacts. Nice and clean. I just clean these. I can put a little silicone grease on there, and then I'll do this one over here. Oh, by the way, one wire goes to the starter, and the other wire goes to your starter solenoid over here, which is just a switch. And then it also breaks down from there, goes throughout your electrical system, all your positive. So this one here goes to the engine block, and this wire here goes to the chassis ground over here. Okay, so I'm done with this battery thing for right now. Looks much better. It's cleaner. Better start. I haven't tried that yet. Yeah, some more wires in there. Now, will these stay tight? Is my next question after driving and things moving. I guess we'll just have to keep an eye on them. I'm worried about, yeah, the cables staying tight. This wire actually could be a lot fatter. The hole for the big wire is a lot fatter, so I'm like, gee. Hope it makes a good connection. Yeah. So, yeah, there's my battery. It's probably a couple years old. Walmart special. Why a Walmart battery? Well, I've been using diehards for years, and I had problems with them. I was thinking I was buying the gold battery or the truck battery, and I went through a few of them. Since I don't drive these trucks that often, they'd go dead. In some countries it's called going flat. Yeah, they'd go flat. So I'd put them on the charger and charge up, and yeah, be good for a day, and the next day it's dead again. So now this happened on both vehicles, the Bronco and the F-250. Now I did take them back to Sears, and I did get a free replacement. They said, oh, well, it's probably because you don't drive these trucks very often. I go, well, okay, I know there is some issues with that. A lot of people will say disconnect the batteries if you're not going to drive them. If you're not going to be driving the car, disconnect the battery, or put it on a trickle charger or battery maintainer. Okay. But anyway, after a few diehard batteries, I went and got one of these. I did a little research online. I saw Consumer Report said this is the best buy. Best buy for the money, for the price. Just as good as the diehard battery, the cold cranking amps and everything. The warranty, it's a 5-year battery. Group 65, 700 cold cranking amps. 5-year battery warranty. 3-year free replacement. It's pretty standard in the battery business. I could have spent more and got a fancier battery, but this does what it's supposed to do. That's all. That's the only reason for this battery. For the price, it was what, $40 cheaper, I think, than the diehard at the time. And this is actually made by Johnson Controls. You know, it says right there, Johnson Controls, made in Mexico. But yeah, and if you ever have an issue, you know, you can always find a Walmart somewhere. Oh, there's the date right there, January 15. It's already 2 years old. I got 1 more year for a free replacement. But it should be good. These big cables here are for the winch. My worn winch. Where's it at? There it is, down in there. It's a XD, what, 9000? Or HDX 9000? Why a steel cable? Why not get a synthetic rope? Well, if you never use it, or you rarely use it, why spend the money on synthetic rope? I rarely use this thing, so it's just for emergencies. It's not for show. Right. Who's this? Name this tune. Alright, let's hope this microphone is working. There's nothing more frustrating than making a video and finding out, hey, the microphone is cut out. So yeah, took the Bronco 4 drive. You know, you have to reset the, not the programmer, the engine, computer, what have you, after you disconnect the battery. So I went for a little drive, grabbed a cold one on the way back. It drives the same, but that's what you got to do. You got to reset the computer things. Thanks for all the comments out there. Yeah, I got comments all the way from Russia. Yeah. Al Portolero out there in Russia. Yes, I did get your message. In fact, I've got a few YouTube viewers just way out there, like the Ukraine and Guam, Sweden. You know, I got that decal on the side of the Bronco still on the back window there. You probably can't see it. 4x4 Extreme SE. That's from Sweden. Yeah, guy sent me a sticker from Sweden. I was going to send him something back, but he didn't send me a return address. So, you got Thrandur and Thorson, I believe it's called, from. Excuse me for not pronouncing it correctly, but from Iceland. Yeah, 4x4offroads.com, all the way from Iceland. He was out here for the King of the Hammers, I think, or he came out to the Moab Safari. Yeah, so look up his website. He's got a website. Yeah, let's see. Trevor left a comment. Want to know what modifications I've done to the Tacoma here, so I'm going to do that real quick right now before it gets too dark.